With us to take a deeper dive into the future of submarines in Canada is the author of this report, Dr. Jeffrey F. Collins, leading defense policy and procurement expert. Sir, welcome to Forum Daily.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Now, submarines are really making media headlines these days, sir. We have the AUKUS agreement, we have the French and Greek defense deal. What strategic value do they bring to the Royal Canadian Navy in particular?
For sure. I like the old maxim, there will always be a submarine in your waters, either yours or someone else's. And in a situation in Canada with the world's largest maritime domain, with the longest coastline, second largest continental shelf, we have a lot of water, a lot of resources, and a lot of territory. And so what the submarine brings to the table is an ability to monitor that territory and not be able to be detected. That is the key point of a submarine. We often think of submarines of shooting torpedoes and stuff, but the modern submarine is really an intelligence asset. That's probably the strongest capability it brings to bear. The advanced sonars that submarines are equipped with have the ability to monitor vast, many miles of territory underwater, and with making them very hard to detect. So for Canada, it's unfortunate the nature of submarine operations is that they're classified, but the very nature of the submarine fleet, from what we know publicly, is that they've been brought to bear in helping monitor our sovereign territory, including with fishing disputes back in the 90s against Spain.
All right, sir. Now, this AUKUS deal involved Australia dropping a contract for diesel-electric subs in exchange for nuclear-powered ones. So what are the functional differences between the two types of submarines?
For sure. That's certainly at the heart of the debate. Nuclear submarines, by their very nature, have running in nuclear reactors. They tend to be larger, so they have larger displacement. So in one sense, they have more crew comfort. But more importantly, they have the ability to travel hypothetically without a limit. As long as the reactor is running, they can keep moving. And of course, can dive deeper. And because of their size and displacement, they can actually puncture through Arctic ice. For Canada, we operate diesel-electric submarines. We always have. Diesel-electric submarines are smaller, and at the same time, though, they're quieter. They can run on battery power underwater, but the challenge in which separates them from nuclear submarines is that diesel have to break above the water every so often to run their engines to recharge the batteries. And of course, a submarine above water is exposed, so there's a vulnerability there that nuclear quite don't have. But it's all about the trade-offs you have in your fleet.
All right, sir, just about 2 minutes left here, but your paper, Deadline 2036, advocates for updating Canada's submarine systems. So what are some of the main reasons for Canada to upgrade and expand its submarine force?
I think there are really four. First is that, back to my earlier point, but just the huge maritime territory we have. We're now at the focus of geopolitical interest. The Arctic, again, is now returned to almost a Cold War pivot point where you have not only just the Russians building up their military capacity in the Canadian in the Arctic, but China has been increasingly expressing interest of having ice-capable submarines. And so now we have more interest in literally in our own backyard. The second is that the U.S. is looking for more reliable allies. That's what the AUKUS deal really indicates. Who's actually going to pony up cash and have the capabilities to work with America? You can't just simply say we're an ally anymore. I would also say that the explosion of relatively cheap anti-ship missiles makes surface vessels quite vulnerable, therefore putting more onus on submarine capabilities. And finally, is the large growth of China's fleet. China is building more and more submarines, but they're also building a large surface fleet, 3 aircraft carriers, possibly 4 to 6 in the next decade. So it's becoming a very competitive world out there on the ocean seas, and it's something that we haven't really seen in many decades.
All right, sir, just about 30 seconds left here, but we mentioned we were left out of the AUKUS negotiation and the French and Greek defense deal. So what are Canada's options for procuring submarines?
Yeah, we can either build here domestically, which would be very expensive, but it's an option under a national shipbuilding strategy. We could partner with an existing builder overseas and split the production, or we could have a builder in another country build our submarines for us, and then we pick them up and bring them over. Those are really the three options we have.